The Elefant. This was a German heavy tank destroyer. 91 units were built under the name Ferdinand in 1943, after its designer, Ferdinand Porsche. The design used a prototype Porsche tank hull, produced for the Tiger I tank. The Elefant name, German for elephant, was adopted in May of 1944, several months after its notable use during the Battle of Kursk. Kursk saw the largest commitment of the Ferdinand. 89 of the 91 units built were committed to the battle. The Germans during World War II had some of the best tank destroyers. Germany needed extreme numbers of armored vehicles to take on the Soviets. Tank destroyers were quicker and cheaper to produce than a full turreted tank. Tank destroyers could be as effective as a regular tank with a skilled crew under the right conditions. In defense, they can lay ambushes, pointing in the direction the enemy had to advance. In offense, the Ferdinand was powerful in flat open terrain, using its range to its advantage. The Germans had two of the best tank destroyers of the war, the Jagdpanther and Sturmgeschütz, which originally began its life as a type of self-propelled artillery. The Ferdinand, at least according to some numbers, was also a success. At the Battle of Kursk, the Ferdinand had an amazing claimed kill ratio of approximately 10-1, with the 653rd Panzerjäger Battalion claiming to have knocked out 320 enemy tanks for the loss of just 13 Ferdinands. Key to the success of the Ferdinand at Kursk was the gun. The Ferdinand used a massive modified 88mm Pak-43 anti-tank gun. This was the same gun used on the Tiger II. The Pak-43 was the most powerful anti-tank gun used in numbers by the German army. It had an exceptionally flat trajectory. The gun could penetrate the frontal armor of any Allied tank during the war, including the heaviest of Soviet designs. The Ferdinand could take on T-34s at a distance of 3 kilometers. Armor further made the Ferdinand difficult to knock out. Maximum frontal armor was 200 millimeters, or 7.87 inches. However, the Ferdinand, or Elefant, much like all elephants used in historic warfare, was not a beast to completely rely on. At Kursk, more Ferdinands were lost due to mechanical failure and mine damage than to enemy fire. The tank destroyer weighed 65 tons, about 10 tons more than a Tiger I. This made recovering the vehicle difficult. A Ferdinand needed 5 Panzer IV-based recovery vehicles linked together to be pulled away. Many Ferdinands were destroyed by their own crews for minor damage, to prevent them falling into Soviet hands. 50 Ferdinands out of 89 survived Kursk. The Ferdinand had many weaknesses. No reliable or efficient engine was ever equipped. The Ferdinand had two 296 horsepower Maybach engines, each driving a generator, powering an individual electric motor connected to its own rear drive sprocket. This power system took up significant room, making the vehicle very cramped. The engines were prone to overheating. Sprockets had to be frequently changed. The engine compartment was placed in the middle, complicating its service. This further separated the driver and radio operator from the rest of the crew. They could only communicate with the other 4 crew members via intercom. Maximum speed was 10 kilometers an hour off-road and 30 kilometers an hour on-road at best. Fuel efficiency under ideal road conditions was 0.35 miles per gallon. Close-range engagements were a weakness for the Ferdinand. It lacked peripheral vision blocks and had no secondary machine gun for defense. Post-Kursk, a ball-mounted MG-34 was added in the hull front, and a new commander's cupola improved vision. In early 1944, the remaining Elefants were sent to Italy and western Ukraine, but at this point it was less effective due to the dwindling of supplies it heavily relied on. Their weight further restricted how they could be deployed, often too heavy for most bridges and unable to ford most rivers. It's hard to judge whether the Elefant was a success or not. It depends on how accurate the documented kills were during Kursk. It was a resource pig, but less a burden on German production than other large designs, as it did make use of an existing prototype hull and chassis. Production of the Elefant was also quick. All 91 units were produced in just a few months in early 1943, though perhaps more care could have been made to making the design more reliable.
It's an Elefant.
Alright, I'm Johnny. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the video relevant. Do take care and have a nice rest of your day.